Disney presents. From Frontierland.
He'd ride with the law till the battle was through. With a star on his chest, he was law in the West. They called him Elfego, El Gato. Move along, you Mustanger, move! Move along, 'cause they don't like the likes of us around. Saddle up, you Mustanger, move! Move along and ride on west to Pecos town. Move along, you Mustanger, move! Move along, 'cause they don't like the likes of us around. Saddle up, you Mustanger, move! Move along and don't show your face in Pecos town.
The family of Elfego Baca, like most Spanish-American settlers in the old Southwest, came to this country from Mexico. At the same time, an ever-growing number of migrants from our own eastern seaboard were answering the call of the great western plains. One of the most interesting phases of this mass migration was the many groups of people who came to the open spaces of the West seeking freedom. Among these were the Amish and the Mennonites of Pennsylvania, who had the unique distinction of being the only large group ever permitted to pass unmolested through Indian country. Then there was the famous Mormon trek to Utah, where Mormons have lived and prospered ever since. Our program is about a group such as these, a peace-loving people the Civil War drove from their homes in the Tennessee hills. They migrated westward, making their own clothes and utensils, bringing their own songs and folklore, and living by their own laws. Mostly they had Irish names, O'Brien, O'Reilly, and O'Shea, and they had biblical first names like Elias, Joshua, Rachel, Shadrach. They were called Mustangers because they earned their living breaking wild horses and selling them to ranchers and cavalry remount centers. Because they were different, because they wore strange clothes and spoke a strange, almost Elizabethan English, the ranchers and townsfolk regarded them with suspicion and resentment. In the first of this two-part program, Elfego Baca and the Mustangers, our true hero of the West is called on to defend the rights of these outcast people against the prejudice of an entire community. We call it Move Along, Mustangers.
Good morning. Sam. Joe.
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Does this belong to you?
Yes, sir. Would you be Mr. Elfego Baca?
I am.
I'd like to speak with you on a matter of business, sir.
I'm pretty busy this morning. Come back later.
Padre Arturo of Pina Blanca said I'd be made welcome, Mr. Baca.
Padre Arturo.
Just in St. Leman, sir. Albeit I'm not of his persuasion.
Come in. Sit down. What's your name?
Elias O'Brien.
Business?
I speak for many people. We're in need of a man of the law.
To do what?
To settle a half-score families on the old Diego grant.
San Miguel County?
Yes, sir. The grant's been open for homesteading.
Well, that's a simple matter of filing papers. You don't need a lawyer. Why don't you save your money?
None of us can read or write.
Any justice of the peace or land office clerk in Pecos City could help you with the legalities.
Padre Arturo spoke of you as a man of courage and honesty. We are prepared to meet your terms.
You come at a bad time. I have more clients than I can handle.
My people have been wandering the deserts of the Southwest for over 20 years. It's time we settle down.
You keep saying we, us. What are you, some kind of group or cult?
Oh, we're American citizens of the Protestant tradition. No better nor worse than others.
Pecos City's about 4 or 5 hours by horseback, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I could make it the weekend of the 15th.
Where did you stable your horse, Mr. Baca?
Higgins, just around the corner. You tell Jim I sent you.
I'll tell Jim to water and grain my horse while he's saddling yours.
Good. Hey, what did you say?
If we ride hard, you can be back in Santa Fe tomorrow.
Now, hold on there. I told you I have other clients that come before you. Now, I don't intend to be ordered about or rushed out of town. I guess I didn't make myself clear.
You sure did, Mr. Baca. You sound just like the man we need. I'll be back in an hour with your saddle horse.
I guess I didn't make myself clear. How much farther?
Not much. Wagon camps around the bend and over the rise, Mr. Baca.
I should be heading in any time now.
It's a long ride. He'll be hungry. Josh,
Yes,
when you're through there, our wagon needs greasing too.
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh, Rebel fought Yank in '63, and Blue Ridge folk left Tennessee, saying this feud ain't no feud for me. Move along, you Mustangers, move along, 'cause they don't want the likes of us around. Saddle up, you Mustangers, move along and ride on west to Pecos town.
Okay, let's rough them up good, boys. Watch it shooting out, there's women and kids.
That's right. We don't want to hurt nobody. Do we, Jack?
You go first, brother.
Yeah. off, you infernal carcass. Get up.
And more reinforcements. Do you think we give enough, boys? Let's go.
Where's Luke?
Don't worry about Luke. He can find his own way back. Come on. Yeah! Yeah!
It's Shadrach!
Well, you get one alive and kicking, old man. Good for you.
I'm the one that got him, Shadrach. I hung on to him like a fish hook.
She's her father's daughter, Shadrach. She's speaking truth.
I ain't gonna sweetheart to throw a man up proud.
Down! Oh!
Enough such pleasures to you, woman. We gotta make an example of this cowboy. You can out-wrestle a Mustanger, cowboy? Want to try again? Who's this?
The lawyer gentleman I fetched out from Santa Fe, Shadrach. This is Shadrach O'Reilly, Mr. Baca. No kith of mine as yet, but soon to be. My daughter's hand, his already by troth. Allow me to present my spouse, Rachel. My daughter, Susanna. The youngest and last to leave my campfire. Quiet! Step forward, lads. Meet Elfego Baca, gentleman and scholar of the law. He's journeyed from Santa Fe to help us settle on the land. You'll meet them all sing land in time, sir, as you will all the others. But as of now, we have a visitor among us who is uninvited and whose fate must be decided. Any suggestions?
I'll drag him home on the end of a rope.
Punishments, that's quite in favor, son. Where's your home, cowboy?
Maybe he never was born a man, woman. He ain't got no home. We'll just deliver him to the edge of town.
You're not dragging this boy anywhere.
You got a better way of punishing him, Mr. Lawyer?
If he's to be punished, it will be by a court of law, not by you.
There ain't a court of law in 1,000 miles is gonna find a cowboy guilty on the word of a Mustanger. Now, we're gonna punish him our own way.
Not while I'm around, you won't.
Then take your leave, lawyer, because we don't need you.
You're talking to Mustangers, stranger. Ignorant, thieving, murdering trash. Might as well save your breath.
See how it is, lawyer from Santa Fe? Nothing but rock-bound hate and no holds barred.
You think you'll soften that hate any by beating this man?
Now, how else are we gonna show outsiders we won't be put upon? You answer me that.
The only way you'll ever get respect is to be respectable yourselves. How can I take you into a court of justice and demand the right to homestead if you deny this cowboy's right to a fair trial in the same court? Now, you answer me.
Now, Mr. Baca, don't get all head up.
Don't tell me not to get head up. Did you bring me all the way from Santa Fe to represent ruffians? People who think they're bigger and better than the law. If you did, then you don't need me.
I fetched you here, sir, to show us how to do what's right and proper according to the law. And that's still what I have a mind to do. What's the sense of me hiring as such a man if we don't do what he says and do it his way?
We're just a handful of hated folks against hundreds of these ranchers and cowboys. Now, you listen to this lawyer gibble-gabble, and we're all gonna be dead.
You said about twice more than enough, Shadrach. Now, you listen to me and you listen good. If we lose this lawyer and our chance to homestead, then you lose me, too. So you better just button up your mouth and lend an ear to what your betters have to say. You hear me? Do you hear me?
Though Susanna's my daughter, she's still a woman. And therefore speaks with a woman's heartfelt wisdom. Are we to continue as ruffians, rootless and lawless, roaming the face of a hostile desert, catching and breaking wild horses for generations to come? Is that what you want? Then hearken to a man who can teach us the ways of those who live in houses and abide by the laws of the land. If Mr. Baca can still espouse our cause, then let him speak, and let us please attend him.
I've been retained by Elias to help you settle here legally. And the old Diego grant now open for homesteading. This I will do, provided all of you agree to observe the laws of the United States. Laws that guarantee you, as well as this cowboy, a right to a fair trial. The decision is up to you.
You heard Mr. Baca, folks. What do you say?
Yes. Yes, I'm with you.
There's your answer, Mr. Baca. You're now in charge.
I'll take the cowboy to Elfego City in the morning and hand him over to the sheriff.
Amen to that. Put the cowboy in the wagon and get a guard over him. Back to your cooking fires, good and gracious ladies. They do say, sir, that the devil dwells in empty stomachs. So if you'll honor my campfire, we'll eat a hearty supper and cast them out.
No use rounding up more riders, Mr. Jack. Luke's come back.
Good news, what I tell you?
Well, I don't know about that. Luke didn't come back by his lonesome. He was escorted by Mustangers. They just took him into the sheriff's office. Hey, Ruth?
Pronto. I know you like making jokes. Mustangers ain't no joke, not when they intend on settling here.
I hope to die, boss. Luke and 4 Mustangers. Me and Ruth seen them.
Mustangers here in town?
Go get Luke's pappy. He's over at the hotel.
Sure thing.
Pronto. Tell Pappy Sawyer we're standing by. Tell him if he has a mind to dust Mustangers, we'll come a-running.
Sure thing, Mr. Sam.
Well, Luke, what do you have to say?
Me and my friends, we were just having a little innocent fun, Sheriff, that's all.
It was neither fun nor innocent.
I've listened impartially to both sides, Mr. Baca, and for the life of me, I can't see where it's as serious as you claim. After all, Luke here is young. He's full of juice and vinegar.
This gibble-gabble ain't getting us no
Mr.
place.
Holman. Shots were fired. Wagons set afire. Horses stampeded. It's a miracle no woman was shot. A child run down. Infant burned to death.
Oh, now, Sheriff, he's making it sound much worse than it really was.
None of that. Now, try to look at it this way. Luke here is just one of many. Is it fair to single out one young lad?
Let him and his friends will swear out warrants for all of them.
That'll be the day.
Pappy, am I glad to see you?
Don't pappy me, you hoodlum. I'll take care of you later. What's going on here, Henry?
These gentlemen were considering charges against Luke for...
Gentlemen, Henry. There'll be no talk of charges from lawless, rootless riffraff such as this. Let's go, boy. The air in here is just a mite too gamey.
Now listen! We demand a warrant for the arrest of Luke Sawyer on charges of attack with a deadly weapon, wanton destruction of property, assault and battery, and other assorted crimes to be listed in the charges.
Well, that was a real smart mouthful, Mr. Baca.
I see you remember me, Mr. Sawyer.
And what, pray tell, brings a notorious hoot and holler artist such as you to the peaceful little town of Pecos City? Surely not to wade such as these, Mr. Baca.
Will you or will you not swear out the warrant?
Of course he will not. Will you, Henry?
Well, I was just trying to explain.
The point is, Mr. Holman, you're supported by the merchants and ranchers of this county, and you're afraid to jeopardize your chance for re-election. Isn't that your problem?
Well, I'd hardly say that.
Far be it from me to cause you moral anguish. Judge Thomas is in town for the spring session, isn't he?
Oh, come now, Mr. Baca. What's the sense of bringing up a trivial matter like this with the judge?
There's nothing I'd like better than to bring up a trivial matter like this straight up to the Territorial Supreme Court. Shadrach, Josh, Elias.
You seem upset, Henry.
Upset? Why did you have to get caught? I turned my back on the escapade, pretend I know nothing about it, and that wild horse tribe are waiting there with a lawyer.
Henry.
And not just any kind of lawyer. Oh, no. It has to be one that loves nothing better than to knock 'em down, drag 'em out scrap.
Henry.
Yeah?
This judge, what kind of man is he?
Judge Thomas happens to be the kind of a man even you can't persuade. Baca will be back with his warrant.
If he does, don't serve it.
I'll have to.
You're not as fast with that persuader as you used to be, Henry, and lawman's work is getting harder to come by, especially for an aging man like you. Bear that in mind. All right, out with you, boy. Your mother weren't worried sick about you just as leave you did some jail time and learned some common sense.
As a loyal friend of yours and mine is fond of saying, Baca, don't let your heart run away with your head.
Judge, without the heart, there could be no head.
Do you know what you're getting into?
Of course. I'm helping 10 families settle on the old Diego Grant.
No, you're doing more than that, Baca. You're establishing a precedent with these 10 families that will attract others. In a few years, there will be no more grazing land for ranchers like Sawyer and the Carters.
No man can claim a lifetime guarantee against change.
Well, speaking bluntly, you're helping to destroy the rancher and his way of life. As yet, he still holds the fort, but he won't abandon it without a fight.
Are you asking me to desert my clients?
Certainly not. In your shoes, I'd have to do exactly the same thing.
Thank you, Judge. And just one more thing, would you deputize me?
Well, what on earth for? Baca City has a sheriff of considerable reputation, a deputy.
Well, they might need moral support.
Who am I to refuse a courageous man out of my own too highly developed prudence? Would you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to uphold the duties of sheriff of Baca City?
I do.
Hey, fellas, they're coming back. Mustangers, yeah! What's the matter? Don't you have brains enough to know when you're being insulted?
Why, you...
None of that, Shadrach. Let's walk straight to the jail.
What now, Pappy?
The next move is theirs. Wait here. This won't take long.
I was afraid you'd be back with that. My deputy, Mr. Denby. This is that lawyer from Santa Fe I was telling you about. Don't shake hands with him, Mr. Denby. He's no friend of ours. Oh, there's no point in hanging around, Mr. Baca. I'll serve the warrant in due time.
You'll serve it now.
But Luke's gone back to his ranch. I'll pick him up tomorrow.
Luke's at the Baco Saloon.
Well, you wouldn't ask a man to go off and let his chili beans get cold now, would you?
Yes, I would.
Well, might as well. I just lost my appetite.
Sheriff.
Don't forget that corner over there by the stove, Mr. Denby.
You mind if I come along?
Itching for a showdown, Mr. Baca?
Just being courteous. I hate to keep trouble waiting.
I don't want them at my back.
Come inside. Now, you wait here. No matter what happens, you stay inside. Understand?
Anything you say, Mr. Baca. You're in charge, I guess, as long as you don't lose your way.
I'm sorry about this, Mr. Sawyer, but I'm duty-bound to serve this.
You know where I stand, Henry.
As an old friend, sir, I'm asking you this favor. Luke will only have to be in jail 10 minutes. You can bail him out.
That's beside the point, Henry. To permit my son's arrest would be to admit his guilt. An intolerable position where a Mustanger is involved.
Then you plan to resist his arrest?
Of course I will.
How about you, son? You go along with Pappy?
Well, now, I always do what my pappy tells me to, Sheriff. Especially when it pleases me.
Then you leave me no other choice. I resign from the office of sheriff here and now. These are longtime friends, Mr. Baca. I can't find it in my heart to go against them. You'll have to find someone else to serve your warrant. Here, now, give that back.
It's only a loan, Mr. Holman. Seeing you have no use for it.
Well, looks like this is what you've been wanting, Baca. So it's all yours.
Law and order only left Baco City for a moment, gentlemen. It's back. I have here, Luke Sawyer, a warrant for your arrest.
Aren't you presumptuous, mister? On whose authority, may I ask?
I could be making a citizen's arrest, but it happens I've been deputized. I'm sure if we ask your pappy nicely, he'll have no objection to your coming along with me. Is that right, Mr. Sawyer?
You wouldn't dare use that gun.
You know, Mr. Sawyer, I have a notorious reputation for being impatient. Now stand behind him, unbuckle his gun belt and drop it to the floor.
You'll never leave Baca City.
You've done and said about enough. Now go on and take what's coming to you.
It's too bad you didn't think this way before you took advantage of an old friend. Thank you, Mr. Holman. I wouldn't try anything. I might have another one up my sleeve.
Kind of a large-sized back down, Pappy.
You know who that man is?
We don't much care.
That was Elfego Baca. I once saw him gun down a desperado when he was sheriff of Socorro.
Do tell.
You should never start something, Pappy, that you can't finish.
Now we're going to have to help you finish it, Pappy. It's liable to get downright messy.
Anytime I need your help, gentlemen, I'll let you know.
We're leaving, Pappy?
I'm going to bail out Luke.
You don't have to go to all that trouble and expense, Pappy.
You'll be out maybe $500 when Luke jumps bail.
You have a better plan?
Have yourself another soother, Pappy. Sam and I'll confer on how to bail out Luke without spending any money.
Hear that, boys? We're gonna get us some real living wildcat action.
I don't understand. Book him first. I'll explain later.
Yeah, but it's just not
I said book him.
Yes, sir.
What's that mean, book him?
Oh, it's some kind of lawyer talk, huh? There's the book. I'll write his name in there or something.
What are the charges?
It's in the warrant. Never mind interviewing now. Lock him up.
Put those guns up. Do what you've been told, nothing more.
I said lock him up.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, Luke, but I gotta.
Stay in here no matter what happens.
That's right.
I thought I told you to stay inside.
This is more my feud than it is yours.
We've come to bail Luke out.
Come back later. No bail's been set.
Suppose you set the bail, Mr. Baca.
And we'll give you an IOU.
Somebody's getting in so deep, he'll soon have to fight his way back out. Now, I don't know whether it's you people or us, but personally, I don't want to find out the hard way. Suppose you and I go inside where it's a lot more cool and comfortable.
Hold it.
Hey, there's Luke. He broke out.
Come on, Luke, get up here.
Hey, stay away from those weapons.
Clear out of here, we start shooting. Hold your fire. I'll blast the next man that pulls the trigger. What's going on here, Mr. Holman?
Looks like things got kind of out of hand, don't it, Judge?
Where were you when the guns went off?
It appears I lost my mind along with my badge.
Are you drunk, Henry?
I wish I was.
Then arrest everybody that had anything to do with this. Except those two men trussed up down there.
Yes, sir.
Well, where you been, Mr. Holman?
I left my badge on the Pecos bar, Mr. Tenby. Go get it.
You left it on the bar, sir.
Go get it.
Give me the doc, Sheriff. I'm hurt inside. I'm dying.
Just this once, Pronto. I wish you weren't fooling. Now get in that jail. All right, gents. Remove your belts. Let's go. No trouble, if you please.
No trouble, Sheriff.
We'll have our own lawyer make all the necessary trouble from here on.
Now shut up and get in that jail. Sorry, Mr. Sire, but...
Leave me alone. Can't you see my boy's been hurt? Won't someone please get a doctor for my boy?
It's all right. Let him go, Sheriff. Go get Doc Birch.
Them too, Judge?
Of course. They're obviously members of the shooting club.
No, sir, not us, you ain't. I didn't aim for blood. That cowboy threw a shot at us.
None of that, young man. Lock him up, Sheriff.
Put down the rifle, Shadrach. You'll get justice in court.
You act like you're still running things here, Mr. Baca.
Do what he said, Shadrach. Put the gun aside.
Well, what is this? We're supposed to be jailing the cowboy. We wind up going to jail ourselves. What kind of a lawyer we got, anyway?
What's the matter, Mr. Baca? Shadrach's parting shot go home?
We're far from licked, Elias. Far from it.
Maybe. But I'd feel a lot more hopeful of the future if I had about me a score more of kindred souls.
Don't do it, Elias. Don't touch off a war.
War's already been declared, son. All I aim to do is free my captured boys.
What's all this?
Seems like I didn't learn how to manage a bunch of females wearing war bonnets. They claim us men had our chance and blundered. They claim they're going to squat right there till the boys are free again. Beats me. I don't know what to do about it.
Don't do anything. It could be a blessing.
Eh?
I hate to think of what would have happened if you brought nothing but armed men.
I guess the women hate to think of it, too.
What goes on here?
If our lads are guilty of bloodshed, then so are you.
How come you men walk out free while our men stay in jail?
This is ridiculous. These gentlemen are out on bail. Sheriff! Sheriff!
Yes, Mr. Fairchild.
Disperse this rabble.
Yeah, ladies, please, you
Don't
promised.
stand there quibbling. There's a city ordinance against cluttering the public street. Use it.
Could I be of some help, gentlemen? These good ladies are the mothers, wives, and sweethearts of my clients.
Then kindly tell them that they are completely in the wrong. Tell them to take their junk and get out of town.
These gentlemen are within their legal rights, ladies. Please let them pass. I'll explain later. Now, let's not lose sight of our ultimate goal. A house for every family, curtains in the windows.
Thank you, Counselor, and good day.
You're welcome, Mr. Fairchild. Good day to you.
Stylish little gamecock now, isn't he?
Stylish in every way, ma'am. High up in politics, too.
Why can't you turn our men loose like that?
Money, Susanna. $2,000.
We couldn't raise that much in the whole camp.
Wouldn't make any difference anyway. Shadrach and Josh are held without bail depending on whether or not Luke Sawyer dies. Anyway, they're safer in jail than out.
That little man wearing a bean pot for a headpiece. He the cowboy lawyer?
That he is, ma'am.
You got a bean pot hat like that?
Now, Susanna, fancy duds don't make the better man.
Might be the do in this town, Pa.
I'll try to have a more impressive wardrobe by the time we get to court. Could I see you for a moment?
Which one of you ladies is named Susanna?
Well?
The one called Shadrach wants to see you.
Now that I've lost the confidence of the ladies, you're free to get yourself another lawyer.
Well, it's you or none. Now we're stuck with each other.
In that case, I'll see how it goes with Luke Sawyer.
Here are your potatoes. Sarah, fetch us some firewood.
All right.
You gonna fix us a hot dinner?
If you want to eat on time, Elias, step back out of the way.
Yes, ma'am.
Rebel fought Yank in '63. and Blue Ridge folk left Tennessee, saying this feud ain't no feud for me. Move along, you Mustangers, move along, 'cause they don't want the likes of us around. Saddle up, you Mustangers, move along and ride on west to Pecos town. Mustang man and Mustang maid gonna get wed first day he's paid. But Pecos Billy shoot the bridegroom dead. Move along, you Mustangers, move along, 'cause they don't want the likes of us around. Saddle up, you Mustangers, move along, and don't show your face in Pecos town.
We sure ain't getting any closer to that house with the curtains in the windows.
Stop that kind of talk, Shadrach. You gotta believe in Mr. Baca because there's no other way.
There's always other ways, Suzanne.
Oh, no, not that. No more running and shooting.
Now, you listen, honey.
No, Shadrach, no.
It's a question now of surviving shock. We'll soon know one way or the other.
Baca! What are you leaving for, Baca? If it's blood you came to smell, there's plenty of it here and more to flow if my son dies. Stay where you are, Baca, and hear me out. Amos, please. This is man to man, Emmy. It doesn't concern you.
Concern me, does it? I'll have you know that's my boy who lies there at Dad's door. My boy. Every bit as much as he's yours.
For heaven's sake, Emmy.
Your man-to-man talk. It's man-to-man talk that got my boy shut up. And it's man-to-man talk that'll be the death of you and this whole town. Unless this terrible business is stopped. And stop it now.
Emmy, please.
I don't know who you are, mister. And I don't care. But if it's a fight you want with my husband, you are not going to get it. The fighting is over. Finished. Now you go home. So my boy can have some peace. Go home, please.
Oh, Emmy,
Go
Emmy,
home.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Really, I didn't.
At a time like this, to fight.
Judge and Shadrach, they broke jail.
Now leave all that stuff right where it is. Not a one of you leaves town till those men are back. Baca, you're responsible for these people. Where are those jailbirds?
How do I know? I just heard.
Well, she knows where they are. She's the one who broke them out. I'm nice enough to leave them alone, go down the street for some chili and beans, and look what happens.
Do I like this?
A break for our side, eh, brother?
Where are they, Susanna?
Now, I wonder where they could have gone. I do declare, that's the most migrating this man.
We finally get things going our way, and you're blowing up things like so much powder smoke. Don't be a fool. You get those men back here, and you still have a chance for their freedom and your homesteads. But as long as they're fugitives, your chances are gone forever.
He's right, daughter. If you love that wild man like you say, you'll get him back.
I'll guarantee their safety. It's the only way, Susanna. Believe me.
I'm sorry, Shadrach. I'm truly sorry, but I told you. I told you! They're on the roof.
The roof, by gosh. What a nerve.
The jailhouse roof.
That's right, we're up here on the roof. You want to come get us?
Come on down, Shadrach. Don't throw everything away.
Now, you're too late, Mr. Baca. We lost faith in that lawyer talk of yours. Fighting's all we know, and that's what we're gonna do.
Mr. Baca? Just heard. Are those the men who broke jail? Tell them my son's going to live. Tell them there's no need for this.
You hear that, Shadrach? It's Mr. Sawyer. He's come to tell you Luke's alive. You have nothing to fear.
Lying words, Mr. Baca, deceitful promises.
No, believe me, boys. My son admits his guilt. I was even guiltier for defending him. As this whole town is my witness, I'll not testify against you.
What about homesteading the Diego Grant?
As chairman of the Cattle Association, I'll see there's no interference.
Those are powerful persuasions, boys. What say?
As sheriff of Baca City, I guarantee your safety. Come on down.
Man's asking us to make amends. Wouldn't be right of us to grudge him his repentance, would it?
Well, it's plain to see your heart ain't in this, Josh. We might as well be getting down.
We're coming down.
It's the Carters, blast them.
Stop that firing up there, you Carters.
Pay no attention to him, boys. Can't hear a word he says.
Can you hear this? Anybody else want some? You, pronto. Pick up those guns and throw them to the street. Get Doc Birch.
Yes, sir, Mr. Baca.
I'll go see the judge right away about the homesteading grants.
You gonna get a house for every family?
Sure, with curtains in the windows.
In the land of big men, when this great west was wild, Elfego was small and his nature was mild. Elfego was wise and Elfego was strong. Elfego El Gato, who made right from wrong. And the legend was that, like El Gato the cat, 9 lives had Elfego.